Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, dear students. Now lecture number 23. This is also continuation of electrolytic cells, and we are now going to discuss the process electroplating. This is also electrolytic cell. Electroplating is an electrolytic process. It is an electrolytic process in which one metal is going to be coated to other metal. The one metal which is relatively less reactive is going to be coated with the other metal. Mostly the problem is with the iron. Iron gets rust. According to my information from different books, in the 1 year about 25% iron is going to be destroyed in the rusting process, and we can't completely stop. There are some methods that we can decrease its reactivity, but we can't stop it. This is a natural process. Iron will get rust. So one method for prevention of iron from rust is electroplating. So we have to coat silver on iron. This is called silver plating. There is a zinc plating, copper plating, gold plating, tin plating. So these are going to be used for different purposes. So electroplating is electrolytic process in which one metal is going to be coated to other metal electrolytically. So here is a page number. If you see your book, always I am telling you, open your books. Without books is not good for you. 175 page. If you open 175 page, electrolytic process used to deposit one metal on other metal is called electroplating process. So there is one thing, and you have to remember very well. I told you that please go through the article very well, understand. When you understand the previous lecture number 22, I told you that this is now another world. World is going to be changed, especially in this COVID-19. Total world is going to be changed. New now rules will be applied. Teaching methodology is going to be changed. Setting of question paper is going to be changed. Marking of the question paper is going to be changed. Maybe electronically you have to change. You have to assess the answer scripts from direct computer, from internet. That is why you have to go through the topic very carefully. Then you can select the very important points. So I am not going to consume this time, but this is very important thing. So that's why written in your book, an object can be electroplated making cathode. The object which is going to be electroplated, object to be electroplated acts as cathode. So mostly an iron, because it is going to be rust, so we are going to be coat this one. Iron is going to be coated, so iron mostly used, so it is going to be used as a cathode. Very first point in the electroplating is an object can be electroplated is or by making it cathode in an electrolytic tank containing points of electroplating metal. The plating metal acts as an anode. Plating metal may be silver, maybe zinc, maybe tin, maybe gold. Plating metal, they act as anode. So plating metal acts as an anode, and the object to be plated, mostly we use iron because it has a great problem rusting, so acts as cathode. So this you have to understand well. These are 2 points very important. On passing of steam through electrolytic tank, a thin layer, the thin layer of anode, maybe silver, maybe zinc, maybe tin, maybe gold, is going to be plated here. Suppose this is a strip of iron. This is a strip of iron. So electrolytically this is going to be coated. Very uniform and thin coating should be here outside. Yeah. This is the plating. This is the plating metal here. So it may be silver, it may be tin, maybe gold. So it will form a protective layer. Protective layer is going to be formed. Very good example I am giving you: tin packing, tin plating, tin packing, tin packs. So we are going to plate a very thin layer of tin on iron, so it is non-toxic and cannot oxidize. All the foods are going to be preserved. We put in the tin packs when you visit the supermarkets. So this is the example. Now, if you see the process, in 175, the process is given general. This is actually silver plating. So I am going to explain first this one. So this is the silver plating. So if you see the diagram, there is a electrolytic tank or electrolytic container. Here is electrolytic container, and there is a this is the silver, which is a electroplating metal, and I told you that electroplating metal acts as anode. Electroplating acts as anode, and this is the silver. So this anode has a positive charge, and the metal to be plated. The metal to be plated. Suppose this is the spoon made up of steel. So it's as a cathode. This is a spoon. We want to plate. We are going to suppose making a silver spoon, but actually it's not a silver spoon. It's a very small layer of silver is going to be coated in the spoon here. So it acts as a cathode, and here we are going to put the electrolyte, and I told you that electrolyte should be ions of silver. So maybe silver nitrate is going to be added here. This acts as a electrolyte. So here is oxidation and reduction after is going to be Here is a battery. Anode is connected with here, and cathode is going to be connected here. This is the anode and this is the cathode. So battery is here. So it is dipped in the solution. Here is the solution here, and this spoon is going to be present in a solution here, and this anode silver is going to be also present in a solution here. So now when the current is going to pass, the oxidation reduction taking place. The oxidation reduction is going to be taking place. So this silver is at the anode, it is going to be oxidized to form a silver ion. So this silver metal, after passing electric current, the silver ions are going to be formed here. This is called oxidation. So oxidation is a loss of electron. So silver ions from aqueous solutions, silver metal is going to be changed into silver ions by the loss of electrons. Silver solid, silver aqueous. This silver solid, it is going to be changed into silver ion. Silver nitrate, silver ions are already here, so concentration of silver ion is going to be increased, and slowly, gradually, silver is going to be deposited, and concentration is going to decrease. It is going to be changed into silver ions. Slowly, gradually decreases this one. The silver solid changed into silver ion. This is at anode. Oxidation reduction because of both simultaneously, side by side. That's why these silver ions going to be collected here. So they make the very thin layer on the spoon. Silver ions are going to be uniform. There will be a uniform. This is silver metal now. Uniform layer is going to become thin, and uniform layer is going to be stable, more stable. Because if there is an uneven coating on the silvers, maybe crack going to form, and this will be unstable. Uniform and thin layer of silver is going to form. So at cathode there is a reduction. Reduction at cathode. So these silver ions, these are the silver ions, they will collect at cathode. So this is the silver metal, and I told you this is the spoon made up of iron, and this silver steel. So silver is going to be deposited. Thin layer of silver is going to be formed. Inside there is an iron. Inside there is a steel. Here is steel inside. This is a steel. And this is the coating of silver. So during this process, the silver is going to be coated. This is a general process which is given in your book, that how the one metal can be coated to other metals. So this is a silver plating example is given here. So if you are going to see other examples are given, very important examples are given. If you open the next page, page number, students, 176. So write down in your copy, and important principles you have to explain. What are the important principles? In the silver plating, silver acts as an anode, oxidation taking place. Silver nitrate acts as electrolytes, and maybe sulfuric acid is added to prevention of hydrolysis. So iron, steel is plated. I put the spoon here made up of steel, and we want to plate it. So this is a plating metal, and this metal is to be plated, still is to be plated. So this process is again oxidation and reduction process. Non-spontaneous. This is a non-spontaneous electrolytic process. Now, in short questions may be asked, what are the conditions for good electroplating? Write down the conditions for the good electroplating. If you want to get a good electroplating durable, then what are the conditions you have to maintain? Number one, high current density. High current density you have to give. It's a good condition for electroplating. Second, low temperature means normal temperature, whatever may be in the laboratory, 25, 26 like this one. Don't heat the solution. Low temperature, normal conditions are applied for this. High current density, low temperature, and high concentration of metal in the electrolyte. When you are starting with a silver metal, the plating metal is a silver, so its concentration should be more. It should be in the more quantity. That during the process it is not going to be consumed, then your process is incomplete. If its concentration is not good, it's low concentration, low quantities, and during this process maybe finished. Your process is not going to be complete. So that is why high concentration of the metal in electrolyte. Again, I am repeating the good conditions for the electrolyte. Number one is high current density. Number two, low temperature. Temperature should be low. And number third is high concentration of metal ion in the electrolyte. So if you maintain these three conditions, your process, electroplating process, will be good, durable. So this process, now I am going to start another one electro process, that is called zinc plating. Zinc plating. Zinc acts as an anode. Already I told you the plating metal acts as an anode. Plating metal acts as an anode. In the zinc plating, the electrolytic solution is used potassium zinc cyanide. Potassium zinc cyanide. Potassium zinc cyanide. Dear students, this is the grade 12 complexes. This is a complex. Potassium zinc cyanide is not a scientific name. When you reach in higher classes, grade 10, especially grade 12, there is a nomenclature, scientific name, procedure to giving scientific name for organic compounds and inorganic compounds. So there is IUPAC, International Union of Pure Applied Chemistry name. So this zinc, potassium zinc cyanide is a common name, but its actual name is potassium tetracyanozincate 2. So this is not your syllabus, that's why I'm not going to straight for this one. So this acts as an electrolyte, potassium zinc cyanide. So remember this formula also, potassium zinc cyanide. This potassium is outside this square bracket, zinc is a metal, transition metal should be present in the star bracket, and this is cyanide, we call it again. So this cyanide is a complex compound radical, so it is outside 4. So these small brackets are used for multiplication of 4 cyanide, and this is a complex of potassium cyanide. Okay. So this is used as electrolyte. And sodium cyanide is used for little sodium cyanide for prevention of hydrolysis is going to be used here. So the steel object made at cathode. Already I told you that steel has a great problem for the rusting. That's why we use steel acts as a cathode. So it's clear. Zinc acts as an anode, and the steel iron is acts as a cathode, and potassium zinc cyanide acts as an electrolyte. So during the process, there is ionization. This is the complex. If you write it in the bracket form, it's good. How the negative 2 is created? Potassium is an alkali metal. You will know in the previous lectures I told you you should have a positive 1 charge. Zinc is a transition metal. There the discussion are not in more detail. Zinc positive 2 charge, always positive 2. Cyanide has a negative 1 overall. Negative 1 multiplied by 4, negative 4, and zinc is positive 2, so there will be a negative 2. This is the negative. Overall, there is the negative. So this is the ionization in aqua. So this is ionization if you see your book. And again, this is the whole process only for ionization. Potassium zinc cyanide, if you dissolve in water, so first it dissociates into potassium ions. Potassium metal is going to be separated, and this is a complex ion. This is a complex ion. Tetracyanozincate 2 is a complex ion is going to be formed. Remember this one? Very important chemical reaction, some difficult also for you. And this complex tetracyanozincate 2 complex, which is an ionic, that's why we add 8. So form zinc ions and cyanide ions. So this is only ionization. This is only ionization, students. Write very well. Remember the formulas and chemical equation. Write down in your book. Must write, underline it, write in your copy. Very important and difficult also. Now this is only ionization, now oxidation reduction. I told you that the metal which is going to be plating metal acts as an anode. So at anode oxidation. So zinc is a plating metal. So during the process there is oxidation and zinc ions are going to be formed. And also loss of 2 electrons. This is the anode. This is the anode process. This is the one, oxidation. Now at cathode, there is reduction. So these zinc ions gain 2 electrons to form a zinc metal, and this metal is going to be placed on the iron. This zinc will be deposited on the iron as I discussed in the previous lecture. So this zinc is going to be coated on the iron metal. So this is oxidation and this is reduction here. So there is a precaution. Also in the explanation I told you that sodium cyanide is used, electrolyte sodium cyanide is going to be used in this process in the explanation I told you. And there is a very important thing, awareness against pollution. Cyanide ions are extremely toxic. There is no rain for them. They are highly, extremely toxic. So during the process, cyanide ions will be in the aqueous solution. So dear students, when the industrialist set the industry, he should care, because there are some rules and regulations. When you reach in the grade 12, there is an industrial chemistry, and these rules and regulations are given for all in printed form, and all the procedures are adopted, should be adopted by the industrialist. And all the workers, scientists, chemists, engineers, they must know the rules and regulations. Because of cyanide ions, these cyanide ions are highly toxic. During the process, they are present in water. So dear students, these cyanide ions container water should not be drained outside. You should not flow in the streams where water is going to be flow, in the canals, in the streams, in the land. Water will be outside. Don't put this water, don't drain this water. Don't flow this water in the streams, in the canals, in the rivers, in the oceans, in the open land, in the agricultural land, because of the great effect on the fish and aquatic life, and also all living organisms. Cyanide ions are highly toxic. So note is given in the book. Cyanide ions are extremely toxic. Therefore, solutions containing cyanide must not be dropped into rivers and streams. So this is responsible for killing fish and other animals. Beware for this. So that is why precautions very important, that we have to care about other also living organisms which are living outside the industry. So this is about zinc plating. If you see the society, technology and science, I told you also tin plating, because of mostly if you visit the supermarkets, the food are stored in the tin plating. So here is given the box. The tin plated steel is used to make the cans, food cans. Beverage industries use the tin plated steel cans. This is because the components of food, beverage and preservatives contains organic acids and their salts. Students, for preservations we use the organic salts. Benzoate and other organic salts are going to be used. So their concentration should not increase. If the concentration of preservative is going to be increased, there will be toxicity. So industrialists should be careful about that. When they use these preservatives, they should test them according to the requirement. They have to put these preservatives in the food packets. That is why they may be form toxic substances by reacting with iron. So we don't use iron cans because these organic salts may react with the iron to make a toxic solutions. That is why we use the tin plating. So acid and salts are corrosive, they are going to react with the iron. So tin plating. Tin is a non-poisonic material. It prevents the corrosion. There is no corrosion between the tin and also organic salts. So that is why tin is preferably for the plating material and is safe. It is not going to be oxidized here. So this is the about zinc plating, students, and very important procedures we use in the industries. And you can see in the outside in the market, if you visit the gold market, the one is a pure gold, another is a gold plating. And if you visit the markets, you will find different kinds of the materials. They are plated materials we use in our daily life. Their quality are also different, and the procedures are given here, and you have to adopt these procedures very well. We have another platings in the next lecture. Inshallah, I will discuss about this one. We go through this plating, all the articles go through. This homework from my side. Always I am giving you solve exercise questions. Read the articles again and again for your preparation. Thank you very much.